$347. That's what I paid for a full apartment in Japan. And no, I wasn't sleeping in a closet. And I'm not talking about a shoebox. I'm talking a real apartment in a real Japanese city with trains, temples, ramen shops, and a lifestyle most people only dream about. Okay, real talk. For decades, Japan has had a reputation: expensive, crowded, high-tech, and out of reach for many foreigners. When people think of Japan, they often imagine neon lights in Tokyo, luxury shopping, tiny apartments, and a cost of living that drains your bank account. But here's the reality. Japan is far more diverse than most people realize. Outside the major cities, there are places where rent is surprisingly affordable, where daily life costs much less, and where foreigners are quietly building lives they never thought possible. Some of these locations offer beautiful scenery, others provide incredible quality of life, and a few are so affordable that many expats wonder why nobody talks about them. Today, we're counting down the cheapest places to live in Japan for foreigners and expats in 2026. Let's begin. Kitakyushu. And I want to start by asking how many of you have even heard of this city, because most people haven't, and that is exactly why it's on this list. Kitakyushu is incredibly well connected. High-speed rail puts you in Fukuoka in 15 minutes. Hiroshima in under 90 minutes. The city has its own international airport with flights to South Korea, China, and domestic routes. The food scene, particularly the seafood at Karato Market, is exceptional and cheap. A massive fresh sushi breakfast for 1,000 yen. That's under $7. The numbers. A one-bedroom apartment with a living area, 1 LDK, runs 45,000 to 70,000 yen, around $300 to $480. Monthly cost of living? You can genuinely live in Kitakyushu on 120,000 to 160,000 yen per month. That's roughly $800 to $1,100 all in. Rent, food, transport, utilities, and entertainment. $1,100 a month in Japan. Nagasaki, and this one genuinely surprised me when I started digging into the numbers. Nagasaki is, in my opinion, the most underrated city in Japan. Full stop. The quality of life in Nagasaki is extraordinary relative to its price. The city's tram system is one of Japan's oldest and covers the whole central area for a flat fare of around 140 yen, about $1. Champon noodles, the local specialty, is one of Japan's great comfort foods and will cost you 700 to 1,000 yen at a proper sit-down restaurant. Nagasaki also has a strong history of welcoming foreigners, more so than most Japanese cities of its size, thanks to that centuries-old international port tradition. There's a small but active expat community, a number of international schools, and Nagasaki University has a significant foreign student and staff population. The numbers. Studio apartments in Nagasaki, 30,000 to 50,000 yen. 1 LDK, so a proper one-bedroom with a living area, 50,000 to 75,000 yen. The hillside areas, which are genuinely picturesque with views over the harbor, can sometimes be cheaper. Monthly cost of living estimate, 130,000 to 170,000 yen. Call it $900 to $1,150 a month. Matsuyama. Matsuyama is the largest city on Shikoku, which is Japan's smallest main island. It's rural, mountainous, lush, and genuinely underexplored. A majestic hilltop castle. Dogo Onsen, one of the oldest functioning hot spring bathhouses in Japan, the one some believe inspired Spirited Away. A tram network, a Metarian-like climate that's warmer than most of Japan, and prices that feel like you've gone back in time. Matsuyama has what I call premium cheap. You're not sacrificing quality for cost. The city is clean, safe, and stunning. The people are famously warm. Shikoku is known as the friendliest region in Japan. There's a real sense of community. The numbers. Studio apartments in Matsuyama, 28,000 to 45,000 yen. 1 LDK, 45,000 to 68,000 yen. Monthly living costs, 120,000 to 155,000 yen. We're talking $900 to $1,150 per month, all in. Now, before I even start, I know what some of you are thinking. Aomori? The cold one? At the very northern tip of Honshu, just before Hokkaido? Yes, that's exactly the one. And hear me out. Aomori gets crushed with snow in winter, like Japan's heaviest snowfall in many years, but summer in Aomori is spectacular. Green, lush, cooler than most of Japan during the brutal August heat waves. And the trade-off is the prices are some of the lowest in the country for a city of its size. Studio apartment, 25,000 to 40,000 yen per month. 1 LDK, 40,000 to 60,000 yen. Some properties include heating units built in, which you will absolutely appreciate. Monthly costs all in, 115,000 to 150,000 yen, around $780 to $1,000 a month. And this is where the list starts to get really interesting, because Kanazawa is widely considered one of Japan's hidden gems, and it is genuinely starting to get discovered. Which means if you're going to live there, now is the time, before prices fully catch up with its reputation. It survived World War II almost entirely intact, which means it has one of Japan's best preserved historic districts. Samurai neighborhoods, geisha quarters, feudal-era temples and tea houses. Kenroku-en, considered one of Japan's 3 most beautiful landscape gardens, is here. And it is completely walkable and livable in a way that Kyoto, which it's often compared to, simply is not, because Kyoto is absolutely overwhelmed with tourists. Studio in Kanazawa, 35,000 to 55,000 yen per month. 1 LDK, 55,000 to 80,000 yen. Monthly living costs, 140,000 to 185,000 yen. So at the top end, we're at $1,250 a month. Slightly higher than the lower entries on this list, but still remarkably affordable for a city of this size, quality, and connectivity. And look, if you have done any research at all into moving to Japan, you have heard about Fukuoka. And the hype is real. But let me give you the nuanced picture, because it is not perfect, and I'll tell you where people go wrong when they move here. It has an international airport that is literally 10 minutes from the city center by subway. That alone changes your life. Direct ferry connections to South Korea, one of Japan's most vibrant food cultures, and it regularly tops lists of most livable cities in Asia. It is significantly cheaper than Tokyo or Osaka, while still being a world-class city. Studio in Fukuoka, 40,000 to 65,000 yen per month. 1 LDK, 60,000 to 80,000 yen. Monthly costs all in, 150,000 to 200,000 yen. So at the top end, we're at $1,300 a month. More than the lower entries on this list, but still remarkably affordable for a city of this size, quality, and connectivity. Japan's 5th largest city, capital of Hokkaido, Japan's northernmost and largest island, and home to the most dramatic seasonal lifestyle in the entire country. Summer in Sapporo is Japan's secret best summer. While the rest of Japan is suffering through 35 to 38 degree heat and 80% humidity, Sapporo is sitting at 24 degrees with a breeze and blue skies. July and August look like something from a painting. The summer events, including the Yosakoi Soran Festival and the legendary beer garden in Odori Park, are extraordinary experiences. Studio in Sapporo, 35,000 to 55,000 yen per month. 1 LDK, 55,000 to 80,000 yen. Monthly costs, 130,000 to 180,000 yen. So at the top end, we're at $1,200 a month. Important caveat that I need you to hear. Heating in winter can add 10,000 to 20,000 yen per month to that figure. Budget for it. Don't be caught off guard. And I know what you're thinking. Hiroshima? Cheap? That's a major city. Yes, and that's exactly why it's on this list, because Hiroshima proves you don't have to live in the middle of nowhere to live cheaply in Japan. It has an international airport, direct flights to Seoul, Taipei, Shanghai, a Shinkansen station, major universities, a thriving food scene, and yet the cost of living is roughly 40% lower than Tokyo. Studio in Hiroshima, 35,000 to 55,000 yen per month. 1 LDK, 55,000 to 80,000 yen. Monthly living, 140,000 to 185,000 yen, around $950 to $1,250 a month. And if I'm being completely honest, this might be the most underrated city in all of Japan for expats in 2026. I am consistently baffled by how little attention it gets in expat circles. Consider this your insider tip. Okayama's real advantage is location. You're close to everything. Osaka, Kobe, Hiroshima, Shikoku, the Seto Inland Sea, but you pay Okayama prices. It's like living in New Jersey and working in Manhattan, except the train is faster and your apartment costs $400. And here is the kicker. Studio apartments in Okayama, 28,000 to 45,000 yen per month. 1 LDK, 45,000 to 68,000 yen. Monthly living, 120,000 to 160,000 yen. So we're back at $800 to $1,100 territory. Northern Kyushu. Here's what most people miss. Fukuoka, which is already on our list, is expensive relative to the rest of Kyushu. But Fukuoka Prefecture and the surrounding Saga Prefecture contain dozens of smaller cities and towns, Tosu, Kurame, Karatsu, Saga City itself, Imari, Kashima, that are 20 to 45 minutes from central Fukuoka by train, share access to Fukuoka's international airport and Shinkansen terminal, but have property prices that are a completely different world. Studio in Saga City, 22,000 to 38,000 yen per month. 1 LDK, 35,000 to 55,000 yen. Monthly total all-in, 100,000 to 135,000 yen. That's $680 to $910 a month. In Japan, with a 40-minute express train to everything Fukuoka offers.